everybody, Giselle Grenier here from artplace.ca. Bet you're wondering what all this stuff is about, right? Newspapers and packing boxes and all this stuff. Well, in today's video, I'm creating this project and I'm calling it the 1-2-3 project. And what the 1-2-3 project is: one surface, 2 brushes, 3 paint products. And for the paint products for this one, I'm using Phthalo Blue as my paint, Gesso as my white and my primer, and matte medium. And I've got a flat brush and a round brush and some corrugated cardboard. And this video is inspired by one of my YouTube fans, Cheryl, and she's moving and everything is packed in boxes. So I thought I would use her as an inspiration for this. Is that, what do you do when you have limited supplies? Well, just look around your house. Look around your blue box. Look around, you'll find something. So what I did is I raided my blue box and I found some cardboard, and this came from LCBO boxes. You can go there and get boxes, and my mother-in-law is packing a lot of her stuff. She's downsizing. So I found the insides of the boxes. This makes for some really good texture. Now you can get ones that are like a chipboard type, and this is beautiful texture. Then there's ones that don't really, it is some type of corrugated cardboard, but very small. I'm not using this kind. I'm using the kind that's, really heavy. And just to also show you, so this is primed with just this one here is primed with just pink chiffon, Americana acrylic paint. And then this one here is primed with gesso, just to show you the differences. So you still can get a base with acrylic paint or with gesso. So I'm just going to, I'll just use this one here. And I've got my knife. Joe went out for a walk, so don't tell him I'm using this. And paper towel. And the other thing, and bubble wrap, of course. And then the other thing too is when we're, if we're packing and we have limited supplies, we won't all have a no-stick craft sheet. So I'm going to use newspaper to protect my table. And also with the newspaper, I pulled out some pieces that might make for some nice collage. I kind of like that. We can use text for collage as well. And I'm liking this here. I'm liking that, so I pulled these pieces out to possibly use for collage material. Okay, so this one here I'm doing in real time, no heat gun. And let's see, which side do I want? The thicker side is going to be stronger, so let's pull this piece off. So I'm going to take the top layer and pull the top layer off. Okay, well that was easy. Okay, I want to leave it like that. And this piece here I'm keeping as well, but I'm going to tear this up into smaller pieces too. And I'm pulling the paper towards me so I get that deckled edge. If you do it this way, you're going to get a clean edge like this. If you pull the paper towards you, you'll get a edge like this. Okay, so this is pulling the paper away from you, and this is pulling the paper towards you. Oh, and I have to apologize for some boo-boos on my fingers while I was getting the boxes. One of the boxes pinched me on the finger. So I'm going to keep those bits. Okay, so gesso. Gesso can be used as paint as well. And with the brushes, this is my Royal Aqualon brushes. What I like about these with the acrylic handles, that I can leave them in the water a little bit longer, and there's obviously nothing to crack. And I'm just going to give this, and a container of water as well. And I'm just going to apply a dry coat on this, keeping in mind as well, limited supplies, not using a heat gun. So, all we have are paper towels, don't even have baby wipes. Limited supplies. So when limited supplies, I don't want to use a lot of water in this because it will take too long to dry. Now, I'm just basically trying to simulate well, if I was moving, I wanted to create some art, what would I do? Okay, that looks pretty good. And then the same on the back. And the back you can do actually at the end. I'm going to show you something kind of cool. You get your fingers dirty with this particular project. And I'm only painting the back because I want to be able to write something on it. What I'm actually planning on doing with this, and by the time this video hits YouTube, I'm hoping that Cheryl will already be moved and I'd like to send it to her. So Cheryl, if you're watching this for the first time, surprise! I'm just going to use my finger. It is already drying. See how it's getting matte? Now where's it wet? Where's it? Can you see the little... No, you can't even see a shiny spot. This is drying. You know, not a lot's coming off. I'm just pushing it into the cardboard. Go. Now, why did I pick phthalo blue? Okay, well, phthalo blue. Go back, way back. When I was teaching fine art, I have a limited palette of colors, and my limited palette is between 10 to 12 colors. They vary, and I never use all 12 colors in a painting, but it goes from, start at the top, there's a red, an orange, a yellow, then we go down, oh, sometimes an orange, yeah, it's red, orange, yellow, then we go straight down to a green, and then a blue, and then a violet, okay, then in between there. So if I were just to say my oil palette, I would say cadmium red light, either cadmium orange or Indian yellow, depending on which type of orangey color I want. Cadmium yellow light, we scoop around, and we'll say phthalo green, and then phthalo blue or ultramarine blue. I rarely use deoxazine purple, then either a quinacridone violet or alizarin crimson permanent. So, and then obviously white. And then the neutrals are burnt sienna and sometimes transparent red iron oxide. So with a limited palette that I have set up, you can create thousands and thousands of colors. So I'm using phthalo blue in this one here. There we go, all dry. And I'll keep that just so there. Yeah. And of course, you need water regardless. It doesn't matter about limited ingredients for painting. You have to have water for acrylics. So just using phthalo blue. So I've got that put on there, and I thought I would collage a little bit of newspaper on here just for some text. So let's... And you can collage with gesso. You can collage with gesso, but you know, you should have some type of glue. And with that glue, I'm going to use the same brush here. And especially if you're collaging over like these parts here, you may want to add a little bit extra. And put that aside, and I'm also going to put some of that on the back. Good amount. When you're working with newspaper, you can also do really, really cool image transfers with newspapers. That will not take long to dry. I'm going to use the angled part of the brush. One of the nicest features on this. I was using soft grip brushes a lot, but I really like this tapered angle. Now these are more money than the soft grip brushes, but I like that. Normally I would use a texture tool to flatten that out, but limited ingredients for this painting. Water. Put that aside. Now while that's drying, see all these little bits and bobs? I'm gonna paint them. So We also don't have a palette, so we're using our newspaper as a palette. Way too much phthalo blue, just to let you know. I'm using my little round brush. I'm gonna put a little bit of blue in there, so you don't need you don't need a lot. And I'm going to use the tapered end off this one here. I don't want to contaminate my gesso. Use paper towel to clean off the end of the brush. And what I want is I want to get some, just paint it roughly. Okay. Paint it roughly. Different values. I may use it. I may not use it all. I don't know yet. Okay. Again, I'm trying to avoid using water other than when rinsing out my brush. Phthalo blue is a very powerful color, very staining. And for those of you that have taken my formal classes, there's always a running bet. How long will it take before Giselle gets some phthalo colors on her? I always get, especially the green. The green is bad. But I'm wearing my Green Lantern shirt right now, so it doesn't matter. No, I'm not a comic, well, I'm not a comic book geek, but I like watching Arrow and Supergirl and all that on TV. But Joe got me this Green Lantern shirt. He goes, see, now you can paint with your green, and it doesn't matter if you get paint on you. So just roughly, and then this painting also, any color, doesn't matter. It just helps kind of bring us back to a more humbling times when we didn't have a lot of supply. We all started off with just learning to work with what we have. And, you know, I still do a lot of that. I don't follow the trend of the latest, greatest art product out there when it's a silly type of thing. Okay. And we have one more little piece. I am a stencil-holic. I love stencils. So if you wanted to use a stencil, go to your blue box. Check out what you've got in there. For this particular painting, we can't use anything manufactured. It's going to be stuff that's, you know, pretend you're packing up and you have to create some art. So I've got all these little pieces put here. I'm going to cover that. Actually, I'm going to grab a bit more gesso just in case. Cover that up. Oh. And just going to kind of wipe my hands a little bit, and then the water I'm letting drip onto the paint and the gesso will help keep them wet. No baby wipes, no cheating. I won't get everything off, but there we go. Okay. That's not quite dry, but we can continue working. Now all this is wet, doesn't matter. So, let's paint a gradation on here. Let's paint a gradation on there. So pick up some water. And I'm just going to take the dirty brush. I don't want to cover up all the newspaper. Gesso is very opaque, so keep that in mind. And I'm just painting this dark to light. And I do want it lighter at the top. And I want to take the dry gesso now, and I'm just going to go across, go down, and make some interesting lines. The phthalo blue, same thing. And now we can take some of this paper. Take some of that paper. Which one? Which one? You just find something that you, I like that. Find something that you like. And let's try to see what happens if we try to use up some of this paint. If we try to use the paint as collage, we can. I already know it works. I already know it works. You see? Stamp. Ooh, I like that. Works as a stamp. Reposition it. And right in here, we've got a little bit of the opening. I'm going to put a little bit more gesso and a little bit more paint. There we go. You get a nice little seal there. And I'm going to come back and let's see what we can do with bubble wrap. I'm going to need a bit more gesso. You can never go wrong with bubble wrap. You can never go wrong with bubble wrap. And just put the paint on. I'm trying not to cover all the text. Let's spread this out here. And we'll come back over here. Where is it? There we go. Love it. Now what if we did a little bit of the blue? The blue is very strong. The blue is very strong. Okay. And this time, oh yeah. I just came up with an idea. I would like to say we usually would have, we would have scissors when packing. We would have scissors when packing, so I'm going to cut that straight. And I'm going to use the matte medium for this one here. Although that was pretty sticky there. Good adhesion. And which one I put this one down first? I've already come up a couple times to say, oh man, I would really like to use this, or I would really like to use that. Limited supplies. No cheating. Please, no cheating. I'll cut that after. And that one's going to give me a hard time, so I may have to come back after. All right. So it'd be nice if we could actually create a green here for this hill. A little bit of a value change there. Go a little bit darker here. I'm gonna need more gesso. And I'm gonna take a paper towel, a dry paper towel. Get a nice rub going on here. And what I'm doing is I'm just pushing the paint in at the same time the paint is almost dry, it's lifting up. Be careful when you do this though so you don't actually tear anything. And now I can see my book print again. I want to do that gradation, get that started. Dark to light. I see just a little bit of my bubble wrap. Just a little bit of bubble wrap. I need my bubble wrap back. Okay. Using my finger. And with a bit more paint on the bottom. What I'm doing, I'm just letting it dry as much as possible. Need to darken this a bit. Yeah, I'm going to end up losing my bubble wrap. I just need to darken it. Remember, working with acrylics, they dry darker than whenever you've put them on. There is a brand out there that doesn't do that. Fade that up. These are my little placeholders. So I'm thinking, no, I don't want the flowers there. Dry, dry, dry. Again, real time, not using a heat gun. Get that newspaper back. Dry paper towel. Here we go, I got the print back. Oops, tore a little bit of it. That's fine. Nothing matte medium can't fix. We don't have any white paint left. Go. Okay, so let's put our flowers in there, and I'm going to cut out 2 pieces of text. I'm not sure which one I'm going to use. It was easy. I think this one's going to be too big. I think this one's going to be too big. I like this. I like that. No, I'm going to use this one. I'm going to use this one. Go back with the gesso. I'm going to really dry that out. And I'm going to start here. Get that placeholder there. Putting 3 little flowers. So those will be my placeholders for my little flowers. And oh, I so want to turn this newspaper over. And use my round brush. And we'll just create a line. Now, if you have string, you could use string for that as well. Go back with the gesso. And we'll just round the bottom out. I really want it textured. There we go. And take advantage of that paint. Nice, strong. And then into the blue. I wonder if I have any left. There we go. Where did that? Oh, here it is. It was easy. I'm going to do, oh, what if we just do this? A little bit of water. Just want to stain it a little bit. I don't want it to be so stark, the text. I don't want it to be so black. Just toning it down a little bit. You can even take a little bit of the blue just to tie it in, just a little bit. And a matte medium. Probably should have picked a different color. I probably should have picked a different color. You know why? Because matte medium is so heavy staining, you can't get your brush clean. So I got a little bit of phthalo blue in there. Matte medium, good amount. On top. There we go. And I'm just going to go over just the edges a little bit where the collage was. Use up the excess medium. I'll end up trimming that as well. Dry. Just dry now. So I'm going to cap this up. Oh, and we were able to make it. Oh, see, it got no. We were able to make this in under 30 minutes. So that's good. This should only be about 15-minute project, but I was explaining a lot of the stuff. There we go. So that's it. I'll put that aside, put that aside, put that aside. Fold up my newspaper. There we are. All finished in under 30 minutes with talking. So there's a quick little way, just one paint, 2 mediums. So the 1, 2, 3, one surface, one paint, 3 paints, 2 brushes, and use packing materials, bubble wrap, newspaper, scissors, craft knife, all that stuff, and you can create a cute little piece of art. What I will do though, when this is dry, I will come back and put another layer of matte medium on top of this, just to make sure everything is stuck together. And what can you do with this? You can use it as an embellishment on top of a bigger piece of art in an art journal. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And also when that's dry, I'm going to come back here. Actually, this is actually pretty good. I'll just write a little note on here. And when I get Cheryl's address, I'll send it to her. All right, so I hope that you enjoyed this. Give it a try doing a limited ingredient project. So if you try this 1, 2, 3 project, I would love to see a picture. You can email it to me or post it in our private Facebook group. The link to both of those are at artplace.ca. So I'm going to clean up now. I'm going to go wash my hands. And I will see you in the next video. Until then, stay inspired.